welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to do a story titled, My Fiancée has been lying for months. I, a 29-year-old male, need real advice, please. And guys, this story is about a guy, young in my opinion, who's at the crossroads. He's really starting to see the true colors of his fiancée, who definitely kept it hidden for a long time. And believe me, she's no good. And guys, let me tell you, this story is really going to be a cautionary tale of what not to do. Particularly for the guys out there that just simply having a good mentor, good role model, and are clueless. This is about a guy who got involved with a gal a few years ago. They're now engaged. And she clearly this is the situation where a girl picks the nice guy who she doesn't care about, doesn't love, but picks him because, wait for it, he's a provider. Beta male provider. Can pay the bills, provide her stability, take care of her kid. By the way, she's a single mom, all that type of thing. And just cheat on him, take advantage of him, all that. And a lot of guys don't know any better because they think they're finally getting their shot, just like the movie says. No, you're being used. And you must understand this. This is why guys got to work hard to build themselves up, so don't let people like this into their lives. And you got to hear stories like this every once in a while to remind you guys that these predators are out there. And if not, you don't do anything about it, you're going to have a miserable life. And this guy is now starting to realize these things. Hopefully, people can get through his thick skull here. Or I should say, naive skull. So it starts off, says here, so I met my now fiancée, a 26-year-old female, about 3 years ago through mutual friends of ours. Smack! Right there. You've known her 3 years, not even that, and you're engaged already? Why? You can see why. She was very innocent, didn't drink much, didn't smoke, never did drugs. We had a really good relationship and everything was going great. Hence why I asked her to marry me. We moved in together around the same time too. She has a daughter 7 years old that lives with us too. Ding, ding, ding. So she's 26 now and the daughter is 7. So she had the daughter at 19 years old, means that she got pregnant at 18. Yeah, no thanks. But guys like this, they're going to be the hero, the white knight, Captain Save a you-know-what. And here we go. And you're about to see, well, she wasn't so innocent. Anyway, around 6 months ago, my fiancée starts going out drinking with her friends often, which is totally fine. Smack! What do you mean it's totally fine? She's a mother. She is engaged. She's not supposed to behave like a single girl. Right here. I always offered to pick her up if she's stuck too. However, it became more and more often, from once every 2 months to every single weekend without fail. Every single weekend. Meanwhile, the kid is like, where's my mom? Then she started staying out overnight, but she always told me where she was and was always back around 9 o'clock in the morning. That is unacceptable. Only nice guys put up with that crap and think they can't get any better. I started to worry because this just wasn't usual behavior for her. Even though she told me where she was, it was very unusual for her to act like this. They need to lay down the law, dude. So cut forward maybe 3 months after the first time, and she stayed out all night, and she goes out with her friends, and again stays out all night long. This time, though, she didn't come home. In the morning, there was also no contact from her at all. So naturally, I contacted her friend, we'll call P. Well, I'm not going to call this chick P the whole video. I'm going to call her, what's a good P name? Paula. It's Paula. Paula via phone, who said she was out with such and such. She says, we left her at the bar with her friend L, a 26-year-old male, who I never heard of before. This guy had never been mentioned. L. Okay, we'll call him Larry. Her friends left her. What great friends. And now she's out with another guy? Gee, shocker. My fiancée was the type of girl to never be around another guy. Bro. Oh yeah? How do you think that 7-year-old daughter came about? Magic? I didn't know the guy's full name, so I couldn't contact him. Her friend who I was on the phone with also said, I have something else to tell you. Your fiancé has also been doing drugs. For a while. We left her with the guy who she buys it off of. I'm sorry. What kind of friends are these? So my head started spinning. I was worried about where she was, but also what she was doing. Again, this was a girl that would never, ever be near another guy and never do drugs, so I was perplexed. Oh my God, smack, snap out of it, dude. Again, she had a kid at 19 years old. Innocent, good girls don't do that. And guess what? The friends are saying she's been doing drugs for a while. I actually believe them. And she's been going out all the time. What do you think's going on here? See, guys? Obviously, this guy is probably a decent guy, means well, but my God, has no one to teach him reality. At 12 noon the next day, I was exhausted, all my options, and I contacted all her friends and family to ask if they'd seen her, all saying they had not. I started to get really worried. Maybe irrationally, I contacted the police to report her missing, and at this point, I was on the verge of tears as I thought she could be dead. It may have been irrational, but I was genuinely worried. Once I had officially reported her missing, I then had to contact her parents to tell them the exact same thing. She didn't come home. I could not contact her, etc. They were wailing down the phone to be crying and screaming. He has every right to call her parents and do a police report at this point. Typically, the cops will say, well, unless they've been gone 24 hours, they're not going to do anything, but, you know. Well, another 3 hours passed by, and her mom constantly is calling me for updates. When my fiancé decided it's time to come home. She walked through the door, and I was relieved, but also furious. I walked over to give her a hug, but demanded to know where she had been. I felt like I deserved to know, and she told me I stayed at Paula's house, the friend of hers I'd spoken to hours before. So she finally shows up, walks in the door, nonchalant like nothing happened, and now he asks her where she was, and she's lying through her teeth. I think not that many of you guys would have gotten yourself in this situation, but let's just say you were. I think this is the point you all be like, we're done, get the fuck out of here. Your 7-year-old daughter, who's great, can go live with her dad or some family. I'm done. See, guys? Do you think nothing's going on here? But this guy, there's just so many clueless guys out there. It says here, another 3 hour, I read that part. I knew this wasn't true as I had a conversation with Paula. So I told my fiancé, I know you're lying. She said, I swear on my daughter's life, it's the truth. Well, you know she's how you know when a junkie's lying? Their lips are moving. I said, again, I know you're lying, and I've spoken to Paula, has confirmed that. And I asked, who were you with when Paula left you? And she said, I was alone. I promise I was alone. Is she still swearing on her daughter's life? Again, I said, I know this is a lie. You were with Larry. Who is he? She said, how do you know? And I said, Paula told me. Oh, well, that proves that she's obviously she's lying here. Anyway, I won't go into specific details of the whole conversation, but she continued to lie to me. She said she was only with Larry for 20 minutes. Then it was an hour. Then it was, I don't know how long. She eventually told me she stayed with her friend Laura, and I said, is that the actual truth? And she said, I promise that is the truth. No. Dude, get away from this chick. You have been conned the whole time. She put on the nice act in the beginning because she needed a daddy for her daughter, a stable guy to pay the bills, the ATM, a babysitter. You're letting her go out every weekend while you're watching the kid. Why does she spend time with you? I guarantee this guy ain't getting any hoo-ha. But people have to learn the hard way. Again, I'm doing this not to be a jerk, but just to make the point, guys. He asked for people to give him opinions and respond, so, you know. So being the silly man that I am, I believed her. Smack! More like the naive man, the desperate man. I also asked her about the drugs. She lied, saying she'd only done them twice, and she regretted it both times. I knew this wasn't true due to my conversation with Paula. She still to this day tells me it was just twice. But the fact that her friends rang me and told me she's was always doing drugs leads me to believe that I'm only doing twice is not true. Now some people can say, well, maybe her friends are lying. Well, they're not, because obviously she's out all night, showing no regard. Does she behave, guys, in a way like a woman that loves their guy? No, not at all. Anyway, cut to 2 weeks ago, and we were out with her friends. I had a few too many drinks, and I asked her friends, where did my fiancé stay that night? I asked 3 of her friends. All 3 of them told me a different story. You know their friends are in on this. Not one of them told me the same story she told me. So I brought it to my fiancé, probably not the best time to do it because I was drunk, and I said, I asked all your friends where you stayed that night. All of them told me a different version of the story. What is the truth? One of her friends, R. Oh, God, another one. Okay, who's R? We're going to call her Rita. Rita said she stayed at her house. Another friend, T. Oh, for God's sakes, Terry, said she stayed with Larry, the guy's house. And the third friend said she stayed at her mom's. So I questioned her on it. I said, are any of these stories true? And she said, yes, one of them is. I asked which one. She said she stayed with her mom's house. Now, personally, I said I don't believe her. I asked her why she would need to lie about where she stayed if she stayed at her mom's house. She said, I didn't want to disappoint you. She said she thinks she was spiked and couldn't remember where she lived, but couldn't remember her mom's address. Oh, how convenient that she was spiked, huh? Now, that does happen. It happens to girls, and it's awful, but still. With all her craziness, it's hard to believe anything she's saying. Well, this is the story she stuck with, and she stayed at her mom's as well. She had only done drugs twice, and she was only with Larry for a bit, but didn't stay at his house. Let's just say she was staying with Larry for 20 minutes like she claimed a few minutes ago. A lot can happen in 20 minutes. And again, is she behaving like a mother? No. Is she behaving like a woman who's in love with her guy? No. Is she behaving like a soon-to-be wife? No. She's behaving like a girl who's using a guy for babysitting and money and providing services when she goes out and parties with Larry. So now Monday this week, she said she's going out with her friends on Saturday. Naturally, I'm worried about this after everything that happened, and I'm worried, but I said, no problem, go out and enjoy yourself. Smack! What the hell's the matter with you? You're enabling her behavior, bonehead. You're not happy that she behaves this way, but you're not laying down the law, laying down boundaries. Have some self-respect. I'm worried, but I said, no problem, go out and enjoy yourself. Instead, inside, I don't really want her to go out, but I'm not here to control her or tell her she can't go out. Smack! Oh, now I'm hitting the freaking car. For God's sakes, dude, you are allowed to have boundaries. You think she'd be okay with you going out and being around other girls if she actually cared about you? No. If you don't want this, then you say something. And who cares if you come off as controlling? So what? Let you be labeled like that. This is never going to work. Ever. So guys, I'm doing this. I know you're frustrated. I know you want to go watch something else. But we need to hear these things on occasion to see where guys screw up. I just asked her respectfully after everything that happened if she could please come home after her night out. Oh, kissing her ass, huh? I feel like this isn't a big ask for me, as my thoughts, as you don't want to control your fiancé. She tried to tell me from her point of view that if she stays at her friend's house and tells me that it isn't a big deal, and she's telling me where she is. I tried to explain to her that after everything, I have some trusting issues, and she just laughed at me. She laughed directly in my face. Brother, it's over. How many signs do you need from her and the universe and all that this is going to work? You want to marry someone like this? She's going to take you to the cleaners. She's making a fool of you. She said she understands I have trust issues, but said if she is having a good time with her friends, she doesn't want to come home because I want her to be at home. Notice she doesn't want to spend any time with this guy. She's more than happy to have him pay the bills and take care of her daughter. And by the way, when does this shitty mother spend time with her daughter? Not that she should. She isn't going to ruin her night out because I want her home. I felt like a lot of my feelings were invalid because she wants to have fun with her friends, and I'd be getting in the way of that because you don't matter to her. I'm not a controlling person. No shit, dude. I don't have access to her phone. I don't know her code for it either. I've never looked through her phone, but since this all happened, she is ultra protective of her phone, which she never was. Well, because she knows that you're starting to be on to her, that's why. She's always on it, texting, messaging 24/7. The phone does not leave her side. She even puts it under her pillow when she sleeps at night to keep her protected. What does that say? How many signs do you need, man? Also, she deletes messages on her phone often as well. I've seen her do it, and she says it's part of her OCD, which I understand, but she is constantly deleting messages. OCD, my ass. She's doing it to cover her tracks. I'm not sure if I have just noticed it more because there's a lack of trust, but it feels like she is deleting messages constantly, multiple times a day. She will send a text, then immediately delete the text chain. It gives the impression that she's hiding something, even if that isn't her intention. Yes, she's hiding something. Either this guy is very low intelligence, which I don't think he is, or he's just that desperate for someone in his life and that clueless. In her words, she didn't lie about doing the drugs, she evaded the truth. That's a new one. I didn't lie to you, I evaded the truth. We had a conversation the day after she had done them before, and I said I would never do drugs again. It doesn't appeal to me. And she said I would never do them either. Just the day before, though, she was doing them, so her thought on this is that she didn't lie. As I didn't directly ask her if she's done them, she just evaded the truth. So my questions are, is it okay not to trust my fiancé? Bro, you have to ask that question. Is it normal for her wanting to come home after a night out, not wanting her to lie about where she has been and who she's been with? Lastly, is it okay for feeling uncomfortable that she is constantly on her phone texting, messaging 24/7, and deleting all her messages? What should I do? My brain is telling me to leave the relationship as it's so toxic, the lying, the deception, and the clear lack of respect for my feelings. There you go. That's more like your gut telling you that. Right there. Leave. It's toxic. The lying, the deception, lack of respect. Why the fuck would you want to stay in a relationship like that? Listen to your brain or your gut or whatever's telling you that. My heart is telling me to stay with her. In all honesty, I love her. Smack. No, you don't. You love the idea of her. You love the person that she sold to you early on to rope you in. I love her daughter too. I see her as my own daughter and protect her as if she was my own too. Any guidance, advice, anything, please help me. Well, you asked. Brother, for God's sakes, get out of this. You want to ruin your life marrying her? She does not love you. She does not respect you. She does not care about you. She's cheating on you. She's doing drugs. She is an awful person, an awful mother. Frankly, the daughter needs to be living with the father, whoever that, unless the father's a piece of garbage or in prison. You haven't heard anything about him. The daughter needs to live with somebody in her family that is stable. And she's not. She's out doing drugs. She's out all hours of the night, not caring about her daughter, not behaving like a mother. Get out of there. You care about the daughter. That's very nice of you. I'm sure the daughter's a great kid, but it's not your problem. But the problem is you are the classic nice guy, white knight, Captain Save HOE. And those guys end up having their lives destroyed with people like this. Do you really want that for yourself? If you knew somebody that you cared about, a brother, a cousin, a friend, was somebody that treated them like this, would you advise they stay with her? Of course you wouldn't. So, bro, even though I've been smacking you and giving you a hard time in the video, I don't want to think bad things happen to you. So, bro, end it with her. Move on. Do what you got to do and get out of there. And don't fall for the waterworks. Don't fall for the little girl crying. Let her deal with it. Otherwise, can't feel bad for you because she'll continue to do this. And if she gets pregnant, I might add, definitely get a paternity test. So, guys, you can see here what not to do. What happens when you don't establish boundaries? Why you don't enforce boundaries? What happens when you get with a girl who clearly probably wouldn't give you the time of day when you're younger? Let's be honest here. And all of a sudden, she's with you and totally taking advantage of you. There are women out there that use guys to help pay the bills and take care of their kids. That's what a lot of single moms do. Not all, but a lot. And if you're not smart about it, you will be completely ruined by them. There you go. Cautionary tale. So, guys, I hope you learned, but we shall see. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to let me know in the comment section. Let him know what you think you ought to do in this situation. Share a story, guys, of you in the comments. If you know somebody that was like this, did they get to see the big picture or did they end up marrying the girl? I'd like to hear about it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.